Very latest on the situation in Wayanad, 93 people officially dead, but that number, political leaders on the ground tell us, could rise significantly. It's been an absolute disaster. Mudslides affecting several villages, many villages and homes entirely washed away. These pictures are just part of so many that we've received. The armed forces are trying their best to get people to safety, but it's clearly going to be a struggle through the night.
Homes buried, bridges submerged, roads collapsed, hundreds missing, and the death toll rising by the minute. Massive landslides have struck the hilly Wayanad district of Kerala. The scale of the disaster yet to be calculated, as many are still fear trapped.
Situation as on now, what we last received was that the rain was still going on, though it has diminished a bit, it has lessened a bit, and but there is a challenge that local bridge has been broken, and because of that we are having trouble in rescuing the people.
Landslides triggered by incessant rains have left the picturesque hamlets of Mundakai, Churalmala, Attamala and Nulpura in ruins. The Army, Air Force, NDRF, Fire Department, disaster management teams, police, locals and even dog squads are working tirelessly to rescue those trapped in what is being called the deadliest landslide in Kerala's history. Soldiers are using ropes to cross the swollen river to rescue those stranded. However, continuous rain and tough terrain are severely hampering operations. Additionally, the lack of internet connectivity is making coordination difficult.
നമ്മുടെ നാട് ഇതുവരെ കണ്ടതിൽ അതീവ ദാരുണമായ പ്രകൃതി ദുരന്തങ്ങളിലൊന്നാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ സംഭവിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളത്. ദുരന്തം തകർത്തെറിഞ്ഞ പ്രദേശങ്ങളിൽ രക്ഷാപ്രവർത്തനം ആകാവുന്ന എല്ലാ രീതിയിലും തുടരുകയാണ്.
It's a huge disaster. It's a massive tragedy. The government has immediately swung into action. Honorable Chief Minister has sent a team of 5 ministers immediately to Wayanad.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Minister Amit Shah have spoken to Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, assuring all possible assistance to the LDF government. MOS George Kurian is in Wayanad to oversee relief and rescue operations.
आज सुबह एक प्राकृतिक हादसा के कारण वायनाड में बड़ी क्षति पहुंची है. केंद्र सरकार पूरी तरीके से केरल के लोगों के साथ है, वायनाड के लोगों के साथ है, सरकार के साथ है.
The government has already extended the support by way of the support of the NDRF and the armed forces, as well as the Prime Minister has announced an ex gratia of around 2 lakh rupees for the families of those who have lost their lives.
A special control room has been set up by the district administration at the police headquarters in Thiruvananthapuram. Temporary medical care facilities and shelter camps have been established in different parts of Wayanad. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has also dispatched teams from his state to aid in rescue.
What you see behind me is the kind of situation right now, dismal situation as well as chaos all around with respect to the rescue efforts that are on. Both the NDRF teams as well as the defense teams are working in sync to try and see if they could find more survivors there trapped in that landslide. Most of them who have witnessed the landslides have been recounting the horror, talking about how they saw in front of their eyes several houses and lives being washed away. And that is definitely not pleasant.
With Pratibha Raman, this is Radhika Ramaswamy for NDTV.
Well, joining us now, my colleague Pratibha, who's been tracking this very, very closely indeed. Pratibha, what is the situation around you right now?
Well, the day has neared its end, but still the rescue operations are on in full swing with the hope that they would find more survivors there. And in fact, just a little while ago, there were 2 bodies that were recovered. In fact, at the far end of this is where you see a JCB that is trying to retrieve those who have been stranded on the other side of the area where the bridge has collapsed. A ropeway that has been tied up to ensure that stranded people can be brought to a safer location here. And with the help of many such JCBs, where the ropes have been tied up and bodies are being retrieved there, as well as stranded people are being brought to safer locations. The ambulance services on and off that make round trips from the hospital back here, trying to make as many trips as possible and try to save as many lives as possible. The Army, the Navy, as well as the NDRF teams, all of them working in sync, along with volunteers from in and around this region who are working tirelessly to ensure that many of them are brought to safety. Food as well as beverages, as well as water that is being given to several of these people who are indulging in the rescue operation here. So that's the kind of image that you see here right on ground. All of them working tirelessly to ensure that most of them would survive this tragedy. That's the kind of resilience as well as spirit that you see. A lot of them were recounting the horror as well. In fact, many of them were claiming that the moment the landslides occurred, they did see right in front of their eyes many of the lives being washed away. So many of the villages that were inundated. It all happened in a flash of a second, and that's the image that most of them have been portraying to us while recounting the horror. This is something that is unprecedented, is what many of them say. In fact, right as we speak, you can see an ambulance trying to carry one of those stranded members. We do not really know how many of them are injured and how many of them have survived this tragedy. What we hear from the defense personnel who we spoke to a little while ago was that around hundreds of them were actually rescued to safety with a makeshift bridge that was done. They are also trying to see whether they could bring in a bridge from elsewhere, and it would be arriving at the Kannur airport tomorrow, and that bridge would be put up here to try and see if they could bring more people from the other side back to this safe location. These are the kind of activities as well as discussions that are on. We also hear that Mr. Rahul Gandhi would be visiting this place tomorrow at around 9:30. He would be making his way from Calicut to Wayanad by road, and he would be assessing the situation here as well. The extent of the damage as well as the devastation would take quite some time for the official figures to be out. But what we know for sure is that, yes, over 90 of them who are dead, who have been taken to hospital, and over 70 of them who have been taken to the hospital, those of them who are injured there. And we are yet to get the official numbers in terms of how many are stranded. Most of them have been telling us that hundreds of families were stranded there, hundreds of families that were washed away, and several villages that were also washed away. These are the dismal pictures, something that wasn't really anticipated at all, despite red alert that was issued, 2 days of relentless rains. Even now, the inclement weather conditions not helping, but still all of them are trying to overcome these challenges and try and see if they could rescue each of those stranded members there. In fact, you can see one of the JCBs here that is trying to clear the muddy areas of this region. It has been quite a challenging task for the NDRF teams as well as the other rescue teams who have been pressed into action here. mainly because of the weather conditions, the slippery surface here. Otherwise, there could have been helicopters that could have been utilized for airlifting each of those stranded members, but then unfortunately that couldn't really be done. So they are looking at alternatives with respect to the equipment as well as the ropes that were used, and tomorrow hopefully the bridge would be one of the boon here when it comes to rescuing those stranded members.
All right,
Back to you.
Pratibha, thanks very much. Stay safe over there. Thank you very much for sharing those details. And now joined by MB Rajesh, Cabinet Minister Kerala. Thank you, sir, very much for being with us. You know, 93 is the official figure. It might have gone up a little bit. Is there a real worry that at this stage we don't really know the number of people who've lost their lives?
Yeah, 93, it's already confirmed. We are afraid that number of deaths may increase further because it's a huge disaster. The scale of this tragedy is much bigger than we expect.
Mr. Rajesh, what is the scale of the tragedy?
That is what I said. The scale of this tragedy is much bigger than we expected. Around 30 bodies were recovered 90 kilometers away from the origin of landslides. So this is the scale of this tragedy.
So basically what you're saying that the area involved, how many square kilometers approximately would be impacted?
See, this landslide happened in an area where there was no warning, where there was no risk. But at the same time, in a particular area which was considered as landslide prone area, people were evacuated from that place much earlier, even when the rain started.
Mr. Rajesh, I understand. What I'm asking is, in terms of the area which has been impacted, how many square kilometers has been impacted? Do you have a rough estimate?
Yeah, see, this happened in a particular place called Mundakai and Chural Mala.
Yes.
Two villages.
Yes.
Two villages. But the intensity of this landslide is such that the bodies through the river, the bodies reached 90 kilometers away from the place of origin.
And so what is the weather condition now? And that's important because if it rains, then, if it continues to rain, then we are in even more trouble.
It's still raining in Wayanad, not only in Wayanad, the entire northern Kerala, including Wayanad, is now facing heavy and intense rains. Red alert has been issued in these all northern districts. So it's still raining and it's fog there. So these bad weather conditions are affecting our rescue operations. Despite this bad weather and difficult terrain of Wayanad, rescue operations are being conducted on a bar footing. Various agencies, including state police, NDTV, Fire Force, and Army, Navy, Air Force, all these agencies are working together in Wayanad. Hundreds of people have been rescued from that area, and many bodies have been recovered.
So, Mr. Rajesh, at this stage, it's 9:14 in the evening, many hours after this tragedy struck. Are you confident that rescuers have gotten into all of the areas which have been impacted, or is there a sense that there are still some places where they need to get in to look for bodies, to look for survivors?
See, the rescue workers have reached almost all the areas affected. But I think the rescue work is still going on. So many people have to be rescued. That operations are going on.
Okay. And in terms of aid that you need, and the forces are fully deployed over there, but in terms of immediate assistance that the state of Kerala needs, is there anything that the state needs presently? I'm not just talking about compensation that will happen later, but is there anything else that you require?
Yeah, but right now what we require is that help and support in rescuing people, in ensuring treatment, etc. The government has made all efforts. Now the Army, Navy, and Air Force is also there. Many injured people were airlifted by the Air Force, and these operations are going on there.
Right. Right, Mr. Rajesh. I'm just trying to understand at this stage, there's also obviously a health concern. This can easily take place with waterborne illnesses at this stage, particularly in a situation like this. Is that also a concern going forward?
I'm sorry, I'm not getting you.
Can you hear me now?
Your voice is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm asking about the possibility of waterborne diseases. Is that the next concern that you may have?
So we have, we are anticipating such a situation, and we are making all efforts to clean up water bodies, including wells, etc. The health department has taken all precautionary measures. They have made preparations to avoid such a situation. And our rescue workers and the MNREGA scheme all are being utilized to ensure cleaning up of wells and water bodies.
And a final question, sir. Those who have been rescued, where are they being taken? Have you set up enough camps?
Yeah. We have set up around 50 camps in Wayanad district alone. So they are being taken to camps. Those people injured have been taken to various hospitals. Sufficient treatment is ensured.
All right, Mr. Rajesh. Very, very worrying indeed what the situation is. Thank you so much for sharing those details with us. Thank you very much indeed.